Hello and welcome to episode 5 of the Embodied Transformation podcast. This week we are going to dive into following the nudges. Okay, so if you've worked with me or you've been here for a while, you have probably heard me talking about following the nudges and following where life is leading you. And this is such a challenging thing for so many of us because we are given this blueprint and this rule book for life and how we are supposed to live life. And yet the nudges that we have, the gifts that we reconnect to, and the pull of the work that we feel drawn to very often goes against that blueprint that we were given for what success should look like, how we achieve success, how we achieve goals, how we're supposed to show up, the version of ourselves that we are, quote unquote, inverted commas if you're not watching this, adhere to in order to be an acceptable member of society. And the challenge is that when you are here to shift paradigms, support other people with awakening, expanding consciousness, and being disruptive, part of what is required for you to do that is for you to go against the grain. Because we cannot shift a paradigm, a status quo, by adhering to the paradigm and the status quo. And so very often, high-level conscious leaders feel this pull to be disruptive, be different, be a little bit edgy, and share things outside of the confines of what society has deemed normal and acceptable. And this brings with it a whole load of stuff, right? Because we are tribal beings. We are wired for connection. Most of us learn from a very early age that if we want to connect with other people, we have to abandon part of ourselves in order to be accepted. And so we mold ourselves. And so then that work of undoing all of that to get back to a place of this is who I am. This is what I came here for. I love and accept all of me. And from this place, this is what I feel drawn to do in the world. And I have the capacity to do that and to be visible in doing that and having the impact that I desire. There's lots of different layers that go into it. And this podcast is really for the person who is feeling that pull, even if it feels inconvenient, even if it feels a little bit edgy, even if it feels a little bit uncomfortable, because your higher self, intuition, soul, whatever you want to call it, keeps coming back to the work that you feel drawn to share with the world. Okay. And with that comes, what are people going to think of me? Can I really make money doing this thing? Is it really possible? Like, will I be like one of my things was I will be ostracized by the village. I wasn't too worried about being ostracized by my family. Been there, done that. T-shirt was fine. But will I be ostracized by the village? Will I lose my marriage? If I let my husband see all of me when he is very science factual based, will I lose my marriage? Will people think I have lost my mind? Will I be burning my business down if I bring more of my spirituality, more of my energetics work, more of my playfulness into my work? Will I be burning my business down if I allow myself to be driven and ambitious and speak my truth and claim the fact that, yeah, I do want to help people, but I also want to make a fuck ton of money? Will people judge me as greedy and bad? And what impact will that have? Or am I just going to get to a place where it's like, I'm sorry, but this is who I am. I am all of these different facets. I am the healer and the businesswoman, and I'm gentle and I'm ambitious. And I am loving and I am challenging. And I don't want to hide anymore. I don't want to allow this people pleaser, good girl, meek and mild version of me that I have loved and has protected me for so long. I do not want her to run the show anymore. And so, what is that going to require for me? What do I have to claim? What do I have to choose? What do I have to step into? Right? So that I can fulfill my purpose as someone who knows that she is here to lead a global awakening consciousness brand, to support people to awaken, whether that is at an individual level via the Time Alchemy membership, whether that is to support people to awaken and bring all of themselves into their work via the Wealthy Witches Soul Expansion Mastermind, or whether it is to teach other people how to facilitate embodied transformation effectively via the Embodied Transformation certification. Okay. And in order for me to be the person that can hold that, I have to allow, like Louise, the good girl, she's fine. She can still exist, but she can't drive the car anymore. Louise, who's like, oh, I don't want people to think I'm greedy. My mum says talking about money is vulgar. I need to hide it. She can't run the show anymore because, well, many reasons, but because for these purposes, part of my work is to support you to have more of an impact, to make more money, to realize that you can do your soul work and be incredibly wealthy without sacrificing yourself, without sacrificing your time. And if I am hiding the £1 million house, the cars, the wealth, the luxury, my kind of luxury, handbags, not my thing. Um, and the time freedom that I have. If I am hiding the fact that my marriage is brilliant now and that I'm happy and I feel healthy in my body because society tells us that in order to connect to people, we have to connect through struggle. We have to connect through gossip. We have to connect through, oh, life is very hard. And yes, I am very busy. Well, what happens if life isn't hard and I'm not very busy and I am still going to create a 7-figure business? Then what happens? Right? Then what are people going to think of me? And how do I build the capacity to be like, if you don't like it, that's fine. Carry on. I am not going to hide anymore. I'm not going to shrink. I'm not going to push it down because I have done all of this nervous system work. I have done all of this healing, and I don't mean all of the healing, right? Things will continue to come up, but I have got to this place where I am now connected back to myself, back into my softness, back into my feminine, but also into my healthy masculine. The ambition, that knowing deep within myself that I am here to awaken people to the truth of who they are, to support other people to connect to their selves, to love and accept all of who they are, and then from that place to birth their missions into the world. And I really want this to be an invitation for you to consider this for yourself. What is the pull that you have to follow? What is the work that you know you are here to do? And what is currently stopping you from claiming that and putting it out into the world? Because often we have these surface level reasons, right? Oh, I haven't got time for this. The kids are too little. I'm too busy. Things are too stressful. I'm still in the middle of my healing journey. I'm not there yet. Never going to get there. Just got to start. I need to finish this certification. I need to do this thing. I need to tick other boxes of somebody else's metrics of approval in order for me to deserve to exist and show up and do these different pieces. Right? And it's there and it's sneaky and it's underneath the surface. I need people to like me, or I'm going to die. I need people to think I'm clever. I need people to think I'm good. I need people to think that I'm in integrity. And the way that I do this is I collect pieces of paper and I hide and I push myself down. And I don't want people to see the real me. Or people in certain spaces can see the real me, but not everyone gets to see the real me because then what will they think? For myself, I was the super intellectual tax litigation solicitor. And now I'm talking about fucking full moons and astrology and collapsing timelines and connecting to your soul mission. And now I have to give a wry smile when I get the LinkedIn notification of like X person who used to be in your team has viewed your profile. But there would have been a point in time where that would have caused me to collapse. I've been like, oh shit, I wonder what they're saying about me in the office. And now I'm like, generally, I'm out on a nature walk or I'm in the gym or I've just woken up from a nap when I see these notifications. And I'm like, well, really? I feel like I'm getting the last laugh here, right? Because I've done all of this work to have this lifestyle that I desired, to do work that I love, and to be well paid. But you've got to think about this for you. Where do the I don't like the word blocks. I'm trying to think of a better one. Where do the sticky points, where do the sticky points come in for you around claiming your mission, claiming your ambition, claiming the things that you are driven to do, and putting your work out there? Wealthy Witches Soul Expansion is for people who already have businesses, but what is very common and very easy for us to do is we leave corporate, we leave that system, we leave those rules behind, then we start our own business and we create the same shit ourselves. It's like when we have these childhood wounds and parents who tell us we aren't good enough if we don't get 100%, and then we do to ourselves what our wounded parents did to us until we see it and we shift it. We leave corporate, we start our own businesses, and we start outsourcing our power to someone else, some business coach, some guru. We create our own business to have more time freedom, but then end up working more. Now, I was never in that camp because I started my business in burnout. So I had to learn to do things differently. But so often we get pulled into this rhetoric of needing to hustle, needing to force, needing to push and prove and get ourselves out there. And we won't do it and we don't do it because our souls are like, I am not sacrificing myself for this business. And then the business doesn't grow. So we have to build this felt sense of safety to be all of who we are, to share all of who we are unapologetically, and to take incredible care of ourselves in the process so that when we show up with our clients, we are serving them at the highest level. And that remembrance that our businesses are not us. Our businesses are an expression of an aspect of who we are and what we came here to do. And I don't think we came here to switch shitty corporate for whatever version of the business that you have created that you think you need to in order to be palatable for other people. Because all the time that you are trying to be palatable or waiting for some fucking metric to be achieved in order for you to think that you will finally deserve to show up and be visible and exist, the people who are looking for you cannot find you because you have an invisible force field around you preventing them from seeing you. So, if this is resonating, if you know on your heart that there is work that you have to do in the world, you know you are here to live an amazing life, have time freedom, have flexibility, but be well paid for what you do because what you do is valuable. And to make a positive impact in the life of others, whether that is through coaching or therapy or facilitation or healing through art or other creative projects or supporting people with movement and their physiology, or maybe you have a product-based business but it has this underlying aim to support people to connect to themselves, to return to wholeness, to be in the truth of who they are, and to live the lives that they came here for. That I want to invite you to come and apply to join Wealthy Witches Soul Expansion. You do not need to be a coach in this space. There will inevitably be coaches in the space because it's the work that I do, right? But this space is for you if you want to bring all of you into your work, if you want to share all aspects of yourself unapologetically. You do not need to have a particular spiritual leaning, okay? It does not matter if you are drawn to the universe or nature or God or the divine or the pixies in the forest or the sprites, right? Doesn't matter what you are drawn to, but in order to be in this space, you need to have a worldview that there is something bigger than us. I would just call it consciousness. Okay. Do we have a soul? Is there consciousness? Is part of our journey in this human experience to elevate our consciousness? And then, as part of that, are we going to elevate the consciousness of other people? Right? If you know this is part of your soul mission, then this space is for you. And what we do in this space is not standard business coaching. It's barely business coaching at all. It is moving through the things that actually move the needle so that you can love and accept all of yourself, take incredible care of yourself, and then bring the work that you are here to bring to the collective. So we get super clear on what is your mission? What is your market of one offering? What is the thing that you are here to deliver in only the way that you can? How has your entire life up to now prepared you for this point in time? Who are the guides who are here to meet you along the journey? How are you taking care of yourself? What do we need to do? What are the systems we need to interrupt? What are the approaches that we need to consider that are quote unquote normal out there that we do not want to live by as people who are here to elevate our consciousness and support others to do the same? We look at the witch wounds around money and visibility and power. We do work to reconnect you back to your creativity, your sensual, sexual self, right? Which isn't about sex. It's about reconnecting to your life force, your creative center that sits in your womb space if you are female, or in your sacral space if you are either. Right? Any of the above. It's about alchemizing anything that still is within your system that needs to be alchemized in order for you to claim your mission. And it is about remembering that we came here to live. It's not about sacrificing everything for the mission. So you get a whole load of trainings, activations, meditations, journal prompts, there's strategy stuff in there. There's a ton of spiritual things in there, working with your human design and gene keys and astrology. If you want to bring AI in, there's stuff in there on that. But it's caveated because we're thinking about consciousness here. And then as a group, we meet twice a month for 2 hours at a time to dive into any challenges, to clear things, to move things through, to brainstorm in a small group of your conscious leadership peers to bring all of your missions to life as you support each other and are supported. You will also receive a 90-minute one-on-one with me, which is a mission activation session. So this is where we get super clear on what is your soul mission, what wants to come through, who is it for, what's the investment, who is it not for? How will people benefit from this? How does it want to be marketed? How do you want to share it? What does it look like? And most importantly, how are you going to take care of yourself as you bring this to life? How does this thing fit into the lifestyle that you desire? And we do that first so that everything is clear, everything is mapped out, and then we have the rest of the year as a group to work through it all. You get lifetime portal access as soon as you join, and anytime that I add new things into the portal, you also get access to that. And there is also private Telegram community throughout the time of the the mastermind calls, which means that you have got the ability to connect in with your peers, ask questions, get support, get guidance. So if this is calling you because you are going to listen to your body and you are going to follow the nudges and you are going to follow where life is leading you, because you know that right now you are being drawn to have more income, have more of an impact, bring more of yourself into the world, and you desire a space that is designed to help you to do this without sacrificing yourself, apply to join the Wealthy Witches Soul Expansion space. Men and women are welcome. Men can be witches too, right? And I actually love that my spaces are all mixed because you learn so much from having a mixed group. You really, really do, even if you think you won't, right? Because you've got to think about it, right? Who are the men and women who are going to come into this space, right? They're exactly the kinds of men and women that we want to shine and thrive in the world, right? And so having them together in and of itself is so beautifully healing as well in a world that seeks to disconnect us and divide us. And one of the ways that we are sought to be disconnected, seeked something, is this male versus female rhetoric, right? Which we also have to move away from if we are going to get to a more cohesive whole as a collective. So max 10 in the group. Our first group call is Thursday, the 23rd of July. You will get your 90-minute one-on-one before then. So come dive in, come and speak to me with your questions. Yeah, I hope it's very clear from what I've just said that this space is not for everybody, but you are going to know if this space is for you, and if it is, reach out. You'll find information on the mastermind in the show notes, and I look forward to welcoming you in because you know that this space is for you. And as a conscious leader, you are going to follow that pull. Right, wishing you all fabulous weeks, and I will see you next time. Ciao for now.